Salutations, fellow nerds. I'm Rick Y, and today is April 21st, 2025. I hope everyone had a fantastic Easter and Passover if you celebrate them. I also hope you had a fantastic 420 if you celebrated that as well. To those curious, I most certainly did. Spring break here is finally broke, and the kids are back in school, which means I can finally find the time to get back to the grind. If you noticed, yes, got a new hat. This is my local baseball team, the Rawhides. My daughter had never actually been to a baseball game before, and spring is the best time to hit the field. Plus, they regularly hold events that support our community in many positive ways. Our evening was centered around helping those with disabilities integrate into society with more empowerment and independence. Specifically, it was sponsored by Able Incorporated, which is a phenomenal resource for people, and I will be putting a link in the description if you wish and are able to donate to their nonprofit. Anytime that we can help those in our communities with disabilities get even a slight step up, we help our society improve that much more. Unfortunately, some other bits of news that recently occurred involved the shooting at FSU in my home state of Florida, where a MAGA supporter and white supremacist, although it is getting more difficult to tell those apart, opened fire on his fellow peers. So far, little is known beside the open disgust that he held for what he called multiculturalism. His mother is a sheriff's deputy, and it's worth noting that he used his mother's old service weapon to carry out the atrocity. This is leading many to ask, if we can't trust our own law enforcement to secure firearms within their homes, is it safe to truly trust anyone who calls himself a responsible gun owner? To those who support the unfettered access to firearms that is shared by all Americans, understand this doesn't help your cause. Cut the thoughts and prayers shit, because I think everybody's done hearing it. In more positive news, on the 19th, over 700 events went down across America in protest of Donald Trump and his policies. Americans are finally showing out, and that may be because it's a little bit warmer than it was over the past few months. But I will say, it is awesome to see that so early on, so many people here are willing to go out and let their voices be heard. It was honestly inspiring, and as a veteran, the past decade has been tough. I came back from my service to a country that was moving closer and closer toward an America that I didn't recognize. There were so many people that I grew up with who had taught me to be decent, loving, and treat people with empathy and respect. But then they turned into monsters the second that they had the opportunity. It led to a lot of questions and a lot of doubt and a lot of reflection. But then I see these massive protests even here in my own town, and I can't help but start pumping my fist. This is the shit that I remember us being about. I marched with Black Lives Matter a while back, and we got a Confederate statue removed from a courthouse. I saw that our actions and our enthusiasm won the day. Our community used our voices to hopefully work toward a better future, and we got it. Watching this all happen again is bittersweet, because while I hate that we have to do this, I'm also swelling with pride for my fellow Americans who are taking the time out of their lives to stand up and fight for what matters. And as a veteran, from the bottom of my heart, you're all my heroes. Keep up that good fight out there. You are making us so proud. Another event that just occurred, just went down this morning. The Pope has passed away. This was just after having met with the Vice President JD Vance for Easter, and I must say this is getting a bit unnerving. Queen Elizabeth met with Liz Truss and keeled over. The Pope shakes hands with the lover of all things couch, and suddenly he's out. Jesus, it's like these old leaders are meeting with newer ones and just die. Like even their bodies couldn't fake the optimism any longer. What's really interesting is one of the new candidates' names is Pier Battista Pizzaballa, which I don't know if you can see, but I totally get behind that one because it sounds like an official Catholic decree that pizza is balla. Hopefully, when we see the white smoke coming from the Vatican, we also get an aroma of basil and parmesan. Keep in mind, I understand that many are mourning the loss of Pope Francis, but if his beliefs are to be humored, he is in a much better place. The man spent his life fighting for the word of Jesus Christ, just to watch the world and a large number of his own followers embrace Donald Trump. If you ask me, that's probably the saddest thing about all of this. Lastly, it appears as though Pete Hogspit has yet again screwed up. I know many folks are shocked that a person like him is incapable of learning a lesson or formulating an original ethical thought, But we unfortunately have to face the realization that the guy that we said was an incompetent nincompoop actually turned out to be a 42 double G in terms of unqualified boobery. This man also shared the flight patterns of F-18s with his wife, who happens to be a producer at Fox, and his brother, who happens to be, I don't know, a guy. And the funniest part about all this is that little birdies at the Pentagon are chirping. Apparently, there are more shoes to fall this week when it comes to the shenanigans at which he and his staff are currently ascribed. If I'm to believe the words that I have been privy to, I'm assuming that no amount of loyalty will help Donald Trump keep Hegseth in his cabinet for much longer. I'm not really at liberty to discuss the events that you will all be soon made aware of, but once you are, you'll know. So if anything, I look forward to absolutely covering that as it unfolds, so stay tuned. And finally, just to cover a little bit of housekeeping, more projects are in the works, including finishing my series on the badassery that Black Americans have offered to the inception and development of the greatest country on earth. And I am working on writing a book. It's a fictional piece and just an idea that I've had rolling around in the head, so strap in, because the future looks as though it will be both busy and noteworthy moving forward. I really appreciate my viewers and fans, and if you dig the content, consider liking and subscribing. It would be really nice to have you among the ranks of people who wish to see the world become a better place. So until I see you all again, treat yourself a round of sausage. And y'all come back now. You hear?